So, I want to talk about the rumors surrounding Kingda Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure. So, I mean, this is something that, like, when it started, I was not taking seriously because I'm like, guys, if it was closing at the end of this year, they would have announced it. And here's why. We're talking about the world's tallest coaster. Don't you think blast rides and a bunch of merch for the final season of Kingda Ka would be a great business opportunity that the park is just throwing away? And people will say, oh, it's had terrible uptime. So, have they announced anything? Terrible uptime is not something like what happened with Top Thrill Dragster, where you had a metal piece come off the train and hurt someone. It's not like what happened with Top Thrill Dragster to not have great uptime. So, I'm just going to put it this way. Kingda Ka will be around in 2025, and I will put money down on that. If you're insistent that it's going to close forever within 2 weeks, I will put money down on it that it will operate in 2025. Now, I want to be clear what I'm saying. I'm not saying that 2025 will not be Kingda Ka's last season, because could it be? Very much? Yes. Yes, it very much could be. So yes, there is some potential truth to the rumors, but with how extreme this has gotten, to the point where, people are saying, oh, it's gonna go defunct in 2 weeks. Get real. You might say, yeah, after the merger, the Cedar Fair execs don't like it. And they would have known that from the time the merger happened in June. So, I'm just gonna say, we're talking about the same executives that gave Wicked Twister a send-off. Wicked Twister, a supporting cast ride that often got overlooked in its park. That ride got a send-off. You really think they're gonna not give the world's tallest roller coaster a send-off when it hasn't had an accident that required it to, when it hasn't gone Son of Beast or Top Thrill Dragster, where it had an accident that hurt someone? You really think they're not giving that ride a send-off? We're talking about the park that will say if you literally bring nothing into the park because they have locker policies, they'll still try to make you put your frickin' car keys in a locker. That's the park we're talking about. We're talking about a park that's that much of a penny pincher, that much of a money squeezer, that they'll try to make you put your damn keys in a locker. If that's all you bring into the park, you don't even bring your damn phone in when you've got a big parking lot and it's going to be hard to find your car potentially after many hours in the park due to just it being a huge parking lot. That actually happened when I was there one of the times, by the way, where I could not find where I parked, and it was dark and rainy, and yeah, that was not fun to be there and not able to find my car when it was dark and rainy. So, I'm just gonna say this. Kingda Ka is not going anywhere before the end of 2025. And it's kind of ridiculous that I am seeing rumors that it's going to close before then. So, look, guys, Kingda Ka is staying through 2025. Let's stop making these ridiculous rumors. And if I end up being wrong about this, then I will make a video apologizing for being wrong about this. But it's this rumor has gotten out of control to the point where people are saying that it's going to be defunct in 2 weeks. And we're talking about prominent roller coaster people. We're talking Josh from Station Wait is saying it. We're talking El Toro Ryan has made videos. I didn't watch his video on it fully, but like, I mean, obviously he has great insider knowledge at Great Adventure. So, like, I mean, is Kingda Ka going to be removed fairly soon? Probably, if he's saying it. Like, he was right about Cedar Point going with Sam Perla for Top Thrill 2, so, like, I mean, he obviously has some, like, he was the one that brought that up. So, like, I mean, if he's saying that it makes sense to remove Kingda Ka, like, I mean, he's pretty much saying it as it's going to happen, and here's why it makes sense. But granted, I have not watched his video, so I don't know what his position is as of now, but like the fact that I'm seeing so many people talk about it as if this is the final season, that's like, I mean, that makes me think he could have said something to indicate that, and I'm like, guys, it's kind of ridiculous to say that they haven't even announced it as closing officially. The park has not announced it as closing. They would announce it as closing if they were going to close it because of all the merchandising opportunities. Low uptime is not something like a metal piece coming off and hurting someone. And also the low uptime, it might even go to their benefit because then more people are going to be buying flash passes to get their last rides on Kingda Ka because they think it's worth it to buy those flash passes, which those flash pass lines are going to be long anyway because it's like you wait the whole day and maybe get one ride on it, or you or you buy a flash pass and you maybe spend half your day waiting in line for it. Like, with the fact that it would be last rides and have very low uptime. Like, that's the kind of thing we're talking about here. Like, we're not talking about a park that would have anything against. And if they end up kicking people out of the park because it doesn't have enough uptime and it still has a line, they'll buy a ticket for the next day. So that's more time in the park that people are spending money. So we're not talking about a park that is above that, I don't think, with the way they have greeters at every ride to enforce locker policies. Like, that's not the kind of thing we're talking about. We're not talking about a park that is not going to capitalize on what they can capitalize on. So in this one instance, it's the time that it benefits the enthusiasts because it's like, hey, they're going to announce an opportunity for last rides. They're going to give plenty of notice that it's going to happen so that people know to go get their last rides on Kingda Ka. They're not going to just tear it down without making an announcement that it's going down.